applied, I don't want the eyeshadow look to okay. Hi lovelies, welcome back to the channel. For some for the first time, you're welcome. My name is Isola and today's video is going to be a beauty related video. I'm going to show you how I'm able to achieve this beautiful eyeshadow look, which I believe you can rock, especially for a party like occasion. You are good to go. So stay tuned if you want to see how I achieve this look, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. I already do my eyeshadow behind camera, so what I want to do is to apply a concealer all over my eyelid and blend it in. If you want a detailed video on how I was able to achieve this eyeshadow look, please let me know in the comment section below and I will create such a look. The next step would be for me to apply my setting powder all over my eyelid. Now the setting powder I'm using is a setting powder I'll use for the regions of my face I would usually highlight, which includes underneath my eyes. So I'm just applying that setting powder all over my eyelid, just to get rid of any creasing or harsh line that the concealer, which is a cream product, could cause or may have caused already. So the next step would be for me to apply my base color. I like to call it my base color or my crease color or my transition shade, anyone you want to call it. It's just a color that is going to make your eyeshadow application seem seamless. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Now for this look, I'm going to be using my bronzer as my base color. It's a soft brown shade. I'm just applying it on my crease. This is the first color I am applying on my eyelid. This is my crease region, this part of my eyelid that you see me sweeping through. So you want to go with a color that makes it very easy for you to transition. It makes it easy for you to blend. It makes it easy for every other color you're going to apply on your eyelid to look put together. That the next line of action will be for me to apply a darker shade. Now you want to go with a darker shade, a shade that is a bit darker than your transition shade or your crease shade or your base color that you applied. And I'm going with a darker brown eyeshadow from my eyeshadow palette. One very important thing about eyeshadow application is blending. You have to always ensure that you are blending in each color seamlessly. You don't want to have any appearance of a harsh line. What I mean by harsh line is someone can tell that this is where this color starts and this is where this color ends. You want it to look or transition very well from the darkest shade down here and gets lighter, or from brighter shades down here and gets darker or toner. That is what you want to do. Now that I'm done with that, I want to go in with a black eyeshadow for the outer V of my eyelid. I'm just patting it gently because black eyeshadows can come off as looking very harsh if you are not careful, hence the patting I am doing. I'm not sweeping it across my eyelid, I'm just patting it gently onto my eyelid because I don't want it to come out to be too harsh, and I also want to ensure that there is a seamless blend as well with the other eyeshadows. So next I'm going to be applying my lid color, my inner lid color, which is usually a bright color or a brighter color compared to the rest of the eyeshadows you've already applied. Now, if you're applying just one eyeshadow color, then you want to usually go with a toned eyeshadow look. I said usually, not always, it depends on the individual. But for this look, I have more than one eyeshadow going on, so it's only natural that my inner lid color is brighter to stand out compared to the rest lid color. Now, if you want to do this step, if you're that kind of person that wants a lid color that is very much popping, then apply a primer. But if you don't care for it like I do, then just go over your eyelid with that color. I'm using a shimmer shade. A shimmer shade or a shimmer eyeshadow is an eyeshadow that has shine to it. If you notice, the rest eyeshadow I applied, they didn't have this shiny appearance that this particular color I'm applying currently has. So okay, now if you notice, the colors I applied, I wanted them to be quite subtle. I want it to be looking elegant but subtle. No, with elegance you are not having a shouty makeup look, but it's looking very, very put together and beautiful. So that's just what I'm going for. Anyway, so having done that, I'm going to take my blending brush, which is this brush, and just sweep across my eyelid, just trying to ensure that every color applied is blended in seamlessly. Remember, we want to avoid the appearance of harsh lines. So I'm blending the inner eyeshadow look with the outer eyeshadow look, and also blending it into my crease color and gradually taking it up to my upper lid. The more harsh or intense your inner lid color is and your outer lid color is, the more difficult it is to blend in both colors. So the subtle it is, the more easier it is for you to blend in. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Alright, having done that, we are going over to apply a mascara. I would always say don't ever skip mascara. I know that mascaras are underrated when it comes to makeup look, but don't ever skip mascara application. Whether or not you want to apply falsies to your eyelid, at the end of the day, mascaras are very important in my opinion, so you don't want to skip it at all. I'm currently contemplating between having to fix my false lashes or just leaving my lashes like this. What do you think? I want to go on to do the rest of my face. I have a question to ask. What is the hardest part when it comes to doing your makeup? What part do you find to be very tasking or very difficult to carry out? I remember back then when I started out makeup, it was the eyebrows that gave me headache. Jesus Christ. The eyebrows gave me a very tough time, and I think after drawing of a brow, the next thing that gave me a tough time would be blending of my eyeshadows. I've always never liked that harsh look that you could find for some persons that draw the apply eyeshadows and then you can tell this is that. Except you're going for like a cut crease kind of look. Other than that, I've never actually liked that harshness when it comes to eyeshadow look. So I've always wanted to master that. You know, have eyeshadow being applied on my eyelids and it looks seamless. But I seemed back then to find it very difficult after brow drawing. Let me know in the comment section what part of your makeup is a challenge to you. Well, for me now it's not. I'm not even, I think for me, as time has gone by, I'm not that kind of person that is as careful about makeup as I used to be. That's when it comes to myself. I think because I'm already used to myself, applying makeup on myself. So I guess that's the reason why. I guess. But when it comes to clients, yes, I am sorting for perfection. But when it comes to my face, I could care less. By the way, are you seeing my mirror? This mirror I'm using, this wooden mirror. Oh, I feel like they are really good because the chances of them falling and breaking is not as high as when a mirror with plastic back or covering falls from your hand. And trust me, my mirrors, they always fall from my hand or fall down in general and breaks, cracks very, very often. And as a makeup artist or someone who just does makeup in general, if you do makeup, you need mirror. You can't do makeup without mirror. So I think this is really good. It's old. I mean, the back in the day used to have this stuff back in the day, but it's what I still prefer till date. It's what I prefer to date because to me it's more durable than the ones with plastic. But I don't know, it's hard to come by these days. Like you have to go to it's hard to come by. So you have to go to very specific places, like your local market to get this. But it's very durable. It's very durable in my opinion. If you're not aware, you can absolutely skip concealer application. Yes, but it depends on the look you're going for and then your facial features. There are people who have very intense eye bags, and I would advise that people like that, you don't skip your concealer application simply because one great importance of applying concealer is it helps to conceal, like the name implies, those regions like underneath your eyes that may look sunken or may have the appearance of eye bags, maybe because you haven't slept, old age, or tiredness, and all that stress. So having a concealer over those regions are important. But if you are like me, whose eye bags are not bagging, then you can actually skip it. Most times I do skip it. So between a brush and a beauty blender, what do you like using for applying makeup? I remember back in the day, then, before anything called beauty blender came in to the picture or into the makeup industry, it was just brushes, dense brushes. It might not be round like this. Most times, or back then, it was they were flat, dense brushes. And then beauty blenders came in and everybody was gravitating towards beauty blenders. I love brush. I still do prefer brushes till this day. I don't know why. Not like I don't use beauty blenders. I still do use beauty blenders a lot. But if I was to choose, I would choose a brush over a beauty blender. I just hope this video is not too long. You know, I said that concealers can be skipped. You can actually skip concealers, in my opinion. But in my opinion, I don't think you want to skip setting powder. Even if you're that kind of person that has a dry skin, I don't think you want to skip your setting powder. Or I don't think you should skip your setting powder application. But I feel it's very possible to skip your concealer application. based off what I've explained earlier on. But when it comes to makeup, you want to do your makeup in a place that is airy. Apart from the fact that it should be light, the place should be airy. Apply makeup over a face that is oily and sweaty. The skin work can look good on camera, but in reality, it'll never be good. Trust me. As someone who has been doing this for a long time, and someone who has an oily skin and sweats quite quickly, or should I say very quickly, and I even live in a humid environment, very humid environment. Alright, lovely, she's happy along with this makeup look. I have shown you how to achieve this look and also sharing along some tips and tricks I have learned along the journey as a makeup artist for a very long time. I hope you're able to learn a thing or two. Please don't forget to ask me questions in the comment section regarding this look. Also, make your recommendations on the type of looks you want me to come up with, what type of content you love to see. And until I see you next time, I love you and God bless you.